And Dr. Pakiasothi Saravanamuthu is the Executive Director of the Centre for Policy Alternatives in Sri Lanka. He joins us now from Colombo. Thanks very much for your time tonight. Firstly, the polls in Sri Lanka closed a short time ago. How did the voting go today?
The voting seems to have gone quite well in that there seems to be a fairly healthy turnout, despite the fact that it sort of rained in the latter hours of the polling. Furthermore, there weren't that many incidents. The police and the election commission officials were able to do their work without any hindrance. So it seems to have gone relatively well.
When can we expect a definitive result? Are there any early indications of which party is leading the vote?
Well, we don't have a tradition of exit polls and polling as such. And so what happens is that by midnight tonight, we will get the results of the postal votes, which is largely public servants and the armed forces. And then in the early hours of tomorrow morning, we'll start getting the results from the districts. And I think by lunchtime at the very latest, we will have a very good idea as to who is to form the next government.
As we know, Sri Lanka is continuing to emerge from a 26-year civil war that ended in 2009. What have been the main issues for voters at this election?
But in a sense, this election has been about the unfinished business of the presidential election in January 2015. Rajapaksa coming back, basing his candidacy on him winning 5.8 million votes in that election. So it's all about as to whether the country wants President Rajapaksa back as Prime Minister or as to whether they want to go ahead with the governance reform package that was initiated on his defeat in January 2015.
And there has been a lot of attention on former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's bid to re-enter Parliament and become Prime Minister after he was ousted in January's snap election that you just mentioned. What are the chances of Mr Rajapaksa winning a seat?
I think he will win a seat. We have a proportional representation electoral system, and there are no doubts about him winning a seat and probably winning it fairly heavily. Certainly will be back in Parliament. The issue is as to whether the Sri Lanka Freedom Party-led coalition is going to emerge as a single largest party, and whether in that event the President will call upon former President Rajapaksa to form the government as Prime Minister. The President has already said that he will not do so, that he believes that there are other senior figures in the party who deserve the chance, the opportunity to lead the government. So this is going to be very interesting were the Sri Lanka Freedom Party-led coalition under Mahinda Rajapaksa to emerge as the victors in the election. But all the conventional wisdom has been that they will not emerge as the single largest party, but rather that the party of the Prime Minister, the United National Party, will be the single largest party in the new Parliament.
Yes, some interesting times ahead, and we will keep an eye on those results tomorrow. Dr. Saravanamuthu, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.